Welcome back to episode, wait, that's 6, 3 of the 1000 to 1 series, where I find out if it takes 1,000 hours of work to enjoy 1 hour of snowmobiling. We're racking up the hours, and this video this week is focusing on a motor rebuild on this beauty right here. I go through some gear and take a walk down memory lane, and then a lot of the boring stuff, the grind. So editing, sending out emails, prospecting sponsors. But as always, starting this video out chatting about what the total hours were before this video and then where we're at after this video. Pulling the notes up, going into the deets here. The timeline for this section is July 3rd to July 27th. So a little bit longer than the previous 2 episodes timeline wise. Right out of the gate, my social media, prospecting, like kind of the admin stuff on the computer. I'm at 54 hours. Oh my goodness, I didn't believe it until I leveraged using Google Calendar. And anytime I do work and finish, I go back to when I started, put in a block right in the calendar, like what I was working on. Or if I had it scheduled out, I would write like, oh, okay, later today, I'm gonna spend 3 hours editing or something like that. Wow, did that add up quite a bit. In training, definitely inflated for this one at 23 hours, just because I spent 1 week doing 14 workouts and each one was around an hour. You can catch that video with the link in the description. Wrenching was very minimal, which I don't like that I only did 10 hours of wrenching and kind of like organizing or working here with the sleds, but it's July. I took a lot of time spending time with family, doing other things. Like I love playing video games. So I spent some good time playing video games. Like this past Sunday, we picked blueberries for like 5 hours. I think I did like 6 total hours of travel, getting to the gym and coming here to the trailer. So the subtotal for this episode, 86 hours. And that brings us to our total of 152 hours total. I don't know if it's gonna take 1,000. Kind of rounding the corner here into busy season, like September, October, getting ready on sleds, plus then December. Actually, maybe I will. Other than that, let's dive into the video. Pick it up and just get it over the whole. Right. What are you talking about? You behind on your fitness. My side was drooping there.
Dude, I've been climbing scaffolding and whatnot, like. That's clutch.
So nice.
Out of the way of the camera.
What do you mean stay out of the way of the camera?
Not block it with my back.
Oh yeah, there we go, right? That's good filmmaking. So hopefully this transported well. It looks like I gotta jump the ramp. Nice! I was just so nervous something was gonna fall in. Yeah, we gotta pull the old pistons off. The plan for this sled originally was to turn it into an improver. That was, I was gonna turn it into an improver and then have my 2026 be the stock sled. Ran out of time, as you know, with everything. Had it completely broken down, then got into the season, had to get this trailer retrofitted for the race season. I had to just get my stock sled late, so December, and I just had 0 time to work on this. So the plan is to just put it back to stock, actually. Have it available to sell to a trail rider, another racer. And so we are now in the reverse process. I have my man Evan here, who is going to be kind of my eyes, ears, mind, and I'm just kind of along for the ride of just putting this motor back together, which I've never done before. He has more knowledge than me on this, even though he claims he doesn't. Stop it. You know more than me. So we're gonna dive in. He's already saying a bunch of big words that I don't understand. Join us on the process of just getting the top end back on.
It's gonna be a fun one.
It's gonna be a fun one. Step 1, you said, was you just got to get the pins out.
Yes, sir.
And we need a pick for that.
Might need a pair of needle nose too.
Needle nose pliers.
There's a little retaining clip, this little C-clip. It's a wire bail.
Yep.
I just can't get under and push it out of the groove enough
to get the tip out. Okay, so you need...
Once you get one corner. So if I can get in there with needle nose and
needle nose, okay.
Hell yeah, that should work.
I'm not very needly though.
Got it.
Nice.
So that's the first clip.
Perfect. I think what you do is you just push it out the opposite side, right?
Comes out. Should come out this side.
That side? Oh,
yep.
Jeez. Yeah. Well, that's easy. Boom.
Yep, because there's another one in the other side. You can take them out either way.
Perfect. And that's basically how we'll just install the new ones, right?
Correct.
All right, cool. So
Yep.
let's head over.
Just be careful not to bump the needle bearings. We don't want to dislodge them in there.
What type of grease do we need?
We're going to have to look what the spec is.
Okay.
Sometimes it's real grease, sometimes it's just anti-seize.
Anti-seize. Okay. Sauce.
Do you have assembly lube?
I don't have assembly lube.
Um,
Well, good thing there's a store right down the road. Apply oil to the connecting rod, small end bearings. So I actually have C-Tech 2 oil. Might as well just use that.
Yep.
I'll grab that. Let's just read down the list of what we might need, and then we can go run to the store.
yeah.
Rotate each piston ring.
So the assembly lube is used in places where it's not going to get engine oil immediately, and you need a high film strength lubricant
Right.
to protect it during the
Okay.
first few startups.
That makes sense. That's weird. It doesn't say it on here.
Right?
I mean, can you just use?
A heavy soda two-stroke oil.
Do you think you want to just do that instead? Like, I don't see anything wrong with just doing that.
For sure.
I mean, it makes the most sense to use assembly oil.
Yes.
Right.
It lasts a little bit longer than
Right.
just two-stroke oil, but I don't necessarily see too much of harm in just
Yeah.
using two-stroke. But
Let's just use two-stroke. Right. Good old Google. Usually, assembly oil is used for 4-stroke. Evan thinks we don't have enough.
2.5 gallons for
2.5 gallons.
two-cylinder engine.
Yeah. Let's lube these suckers up, huh?
Ooh, I may have a little syringe for oil in the trailer.
Grab it. Dude, man.
Oh yeah,
You get a lot done in here.
I do. It's
Holy. At first, when I was stepped in here, I'm like, wow, there's a lot going on. But the more time I spend in here,
Oh, yeah.
very organized
Thank
and
you.
like, yeah. Like, just
yeah.
like staring at these shelves and everything. Like,
Everything is easy to grab.
Yeah.
Ready to go.
this is awesome.
I have my routines down. They're the best.
Dude, that would actually be really helpful with
Oh,
a
yeah.
bunch of small parts and everything that, like, if I'm taking plastics off and everything,
Right.
just like have that as
yeah.
just like storage for extra parts.
They're
and
pretty pricey. They're $250.
okay, Milwaukee. Let's Milwaukee sponsorship coming at us here.
Right.
Oh, you showed me this.
Yep.
This is so cool.
So I can plug it in when it's not connected to my truck. And this is a 20 to 12 volt adapter. It has a voltage regulator behind it, so I can run my lights.
Dude, that is so cool.
Oh, yeah.
And you built this.
Yep. Yeah, so there's a control board inside. There's fuses,
so
transformers. It's all done up. So. And it's just waterproof plugs I can go to different accessories with it. So I can run
So
outdoor
clever.
lights and any 12 volt function test stuff. So when we're working on ECUs and whatnot, you
Yeah.
can power without having the battery in.
Perfect. That's huge. Yeah, because it's the same like 2-prong that is most
Correct.
OEMs use.
I carry extras, and I have this one on a quick clip too.
Oh, nice. You might have a line of customers
Right?
that would take some custom built ones
Hell yeah.
of these. So that's so sweet.
It's
You can
pretty
just
slick.
easily plug it right in.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Perfect. Syringes.
We can take the whole
just,
thing with us. And
no, just grab a little. We only need a little guy.
It's because that mounts on the end of.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Yep.
Cool. All right, we got our easy to use tools.
Oh yeah. Ah, the right tool for the job.
Yeah, I'd say so. Give it like the all like.
Right.
Oh. Doesn't matter.
Oh, the.
Yeah. Get the other deal. All right, working on sleds. It's that addicting.
Right? Let's see.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
We'll give it a little oil. There. I gotta be honest, that's what most of the trailer is just little things of just in case.
Right.
Like, am I actually gonna need this?
Okay, so next is
So yeah, we got to put the dowel pins back.
dowel pins back in. Oh, the fuel rail connects right to there, though.
Does it?
Yeah.
Oh, it is then. No.
Oh, it's up like this way.
Correct.
Idiot! I don't know what I'm doing.
You're good, dude.
So I'll hand you this.
Yep.
Now, which way doesn't?
So the notch
Yeah.
goes back, and is there a side? Oh, it's single layer steel. So it is.
So it looks like there's a groove
Yep.
on that side, and it's not grooved on the other.
So it is rib up,
Rib up. Okay.
according to the imprint marks.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So,
I'm gonna say this 1,000 times. Thank God you're here.
happy to help, dude.
Okay,
I love this stuff.
over there.
All right.
Okay.
So we're just gonna have to be careful about getting that other dowel pin through the gasket without crunching it.
Yep.
But we are ready to install pistons.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Let me zoom.
So you can see there's a small hardened pin in there that keeps the piston ring from spinning.
Perfect.
In other situations, the piston ring is allowed to free spin, but it rotates based on the cross hatching of the cylinder.
Oh,
So
no
when
kidding.
you hone the cylinders, there's a special angle that you hone it at to get the cross hatching right to actively spin the piston rings.
Gotcha.
In this case, we're going to line them up on the hardened dowels because they don't want these ones to spin. So I have already lubricated the piston. Sorry, the rod. Let's see. Let's do just a little more oil here. Get a nice film on everything. And the arrow on the top of the piston indicates forwards in the machine, and that all lines up so you can get oil through the back slot of the piston. We've already lubricated the needle bearings inside. I'm looking in the far end of the piston to get it lined up with the con rod, and now the pin is all the way set.
Bam. And then reverse the process. So put the retain clip in.
Correct. These can be a little bit of a pain, especially when they're greasy.
And also, too, do we want to put like a towel or something in case you drop it?
That would be a very smart move.
Alright, where is that?
Been around the block once or twice.
Yeah, I know. I've been hearing worst case scenario for engine rebuilds, and it's like do not drop anything in the lower case.
Yeah, we'd be lifting the whole sled upside down and shaking it.
Oh my gosh! So yeah, tuck that in and around. And then also, let's put one in this too. Are you good with light? Do you need any?
Should be good. I just need more visibility more than anything. I hate doing this because I don't want to scratch the surface of the piston. I'm getting there.
Oh, nice.
Ooh, almost. We're in.
Click.
So that is one.
Very satisfying click.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Time to do that a second time. Getting some lubricant on the skirts so it doesn't scratch on startup. It's gonna get oil on it, everything at some point. Anyways, just getting. Oh, that's a nice fit. Nice. Okay. There we are.
Evan asked if I had a piston ring compressor tool.
Yeah.
No. We're going old school, by hand.
Oh, yeah.
But the instructors say that's okay. So.
Both ways work. We're getting the last circlip in, and it gets harder every time.
Yeah, what do we need to move here?
The big chunks of metal that are in my way. I got a really long set of needle nose handy.
Yeah, right? I have like the tiniest little bit.
Trying to get one end started, and it just roughly in place. Okay. Let go. I'm partially there. Ooh, we're in. Not snapped yet. There we go. Got it. We're trying to lubricate so we don't scratch the pistons as we put the cylinders on. We did pre-lubricate the pistons already, so this is just a little bit of extra.
Doesn't hurt.
Correct.
It's not like we're gonna run out anytime soon. So this is where probably I'll come in handy, huh?
Yep, so the next step is placing the cylinders on.
The correct way.
The correct way. Yes, sir.
Not this way. This way.
Exactly. So
I think that is the left one?
Is left, and it is the right orientation. We are going to lubricate this with oil as well.
Freaking send it. You got enough in that thing? Probably.
Probably enough, but I don't know what else. It says it should just be a nice slip fit. Despite it all, we're doing something wrong.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, with the steel gasket, I have no concerns about having to put grease or anything on it. Cool. If it was a fibrous material, sure, but I would love to learn how to port with the die grinder.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
I get the concept of it, but
actually doing it.
Yeah. I might start on my mini bike engine.
Yeah, right? Well, we have that 500 out there
That's right.
I got plans.
Hell yeah. We can't, if they slip off that, we won't be able to get it on.
Yeah, so it's kind of a fail-safe. Like you can't really put it on. I mean, you can put it on incorrectly.
Right.
All right. So, are they lined up or?
They are lined up right now.
Just like that.
Yep. So we're just gonna have to compress them to get in the feet. Here, let me see if I can get this solo real quick.
Oh, please.
I'm just.
By all means. Do you need me to hold it or?
I'm trying to figure out where. Ah ha ha.
And then give it a spin.
Yep. It's just starting to get a little sticky.
Okay.
So I'm just want it to do its own thing freely. Loosen up, little guy.
Right, so you're just trying to spin the cylinder
Correct.
on the rings. Which way are you trying to spin it?
I'm
Clockwise?
trying to. Yeah.
Thank goodness this is not a monoblock, right?
Right.
Both.
Yeah. Honestly, sometimes the monoblocks are easier to get pistons in.
That's
Because
crazy.
then you just use a spring compressor on the top.
Oh,
And you
gotcha.
just punch it in and you bolt the piston in on the con rod
okay.
from underneath. I've never actually done a split block. Well, this style of split block before.
Do we want to pop it back off again?
If I can't get it on this one, I'll have you stick your hands in and.
Okay.
Yeah, the lower ring is spinning with the whole assembly. It's not in its.
It's not hitting that pin.
Correct.
So maybe just spin it back till it catches.
Got it. Yep, I'm in.
Yeah, buddy.
Woohoo!
First one.
That was a battle, but
That was a battle. Now we get ready for battle number 2 here.
with even less access.
Right. Oh boy.
If you can drop it on, I'm going to try to keep them aligned and compressed. So my trick was,
Go like this.
yep,
And then.
getting the back on. It's going to go really easy. Like if there's any force, don't push.
There we go. There we go. Yep. There we go.
Awesome.
Okay. I think I got them past the rings, but now.
Yep. So slowly work down towards me.
Oh, okay.
Oop, hang on.
Right.
Yep.
Like
well,
this?
yeah. Oh, dude. It's almost like we know what we're doing. Get it down on those bosses.
Oh, you need a mallet?
We might need a mallet. Oh yeah, of course, you guys. Nice. Easy. Hell yeah. A little more oil in on the far side.
How was that one easier to put in?
Because it didn't have a. Well, two people. Me holding the rings right at the end.
Why didn't we
was
do that
one-
on the first
I
time?
know. Well, yeah.
Yeah. You're like, I got this.
I know.
I got this.
You can tell me I'm a stubborn idiot sometimes.
Why would I ever tell you that? You just put it on, dude. I'm never gonna call you that. So time to tighten the base nuts down.
Correct.
Right, onto the studs.
So we're torquing down the base nuts on the cylinders, and we got a little bit of an access problem here. I'm looking straight down on the bolt. There's very limited access to getting a deep socket in there. So we're trying to come up with a couple options as to how to tighten those down to the torque spec. There's commonly torque wrench adapters that are an open end wrench that mounts on the end of a torque wrench that you can kind of do the same thing. We don't have those here right now, so we'll get it one way or another. I got enough odds and ends. Oh. Man, they thread on nice.
Yes, they do.
Not able to get to 90 degrees.
Got the limp mode tuning next door. They happen to have what's called a crow's feet adapter, crow's foot adapter,
Crow's foot, yep.
Whatever, singular. And but 14 mil, perfect.
Oh yeah.
Do that.
So now to tighten these head studs to torque, we'll be able to put a small extension here and be able to twist on our torque wrench
Beauty.
and get our specs done.
Oh, so easy. And here too.
Negatory.
Oh, darn.
We may be educated guessing those.
That's fine.
Yeah. If you can find a traditional socket
Yep.
that fits a 14 mil socket,
Okay.
go grab my
Traditional 14 mil socket.
That helps.
It's a little too long.
Nope. Yeah. So I'm gonna start on the left-hand cylinder. We'll bring everything up to 15 pound-feet, and then a second step to 32. That's 15 pound-feet. Exactly. So the 90-degree rule on a torque wrench: when your adapter is offset 90, you get the same torque setting. Ah!
Go start
Yeah.
over on this, or straight on. You start.
It
straight
has
on?
to be at 90 to not mess with torque settings.
Oh, no kidding.
Now we're at 90.
Come on, click, damn it. Ha ha! I got a good feel for what 15 is. Yeah. Alright, now the right cylinder. Oh yeah. It's approximately a 6-inch lever. I'm putting 30 pounds of force against it. Close enough.
Yeah, 15. Boop. Click.
I don't want to slacken it. I don't know why it's habit for me to do the double click, but
Whatever.
I always do. Come on, Arctic Cat. Give us more room next time.
I mean, again, a lot of this stuff could have been taken off.
Where are you? There you go. Click. Come on, click. There we go. Well, now I only have to do this 8 more times. Twice the torque rating.
Yeah, once I get everything back together and cooling it and everything, the first fire up, I'll wait for you.
Hell yeah. Jeez, 32 pound-feet is kind of the limit of what I want on a crow's foot.
Yeah, my word.
Alright, one last
Oh yeah.
sock down on this guy.
Oh my god.
Come on, little crow's foot, just survive this, please.
Oh my goodness.
Alright, we can go return that to him in one piece.
Oh, that's it? We don't need it again?
I don't think so.
Oh, thank goodness.
Beautiful. Yeah. The good click, not the bad click.
Good click, yeah. No, that's snap.
Right.
Alright, so.
Alright, so O-rings.
O-rings.
I'm going to oil up the top of the head.
Oh, and then what should I just use oil to clean this?
Yes.
Okay.
I would wipe the excess off before we put it on, as long as it has an oily coating.
Okay.
I wouldn't worry too much. Brushing some oil in the grooves.
Not sure what all the other rings are for.
We'll take a look in a sec. Man, those exhaust ports will never be that clean again. I was like, wait, that
I
looks
know
like...
I need outer ones too, though. Right, there we go. Yeah,
Hell
it was
yeah.
just coiled up. Oh, that made me nervous. Too funny.
Alright, so we got the O-rings installed in the tops of the cylinders, and now we are about to drop the head on. For the manual, we got one just junk spark plug in it as a positioning tool, and the 4 bolts to start with alignment. We're gonna place this over the cylinders, and TJ is going to start to lightly thread in
Just telling me what to do.
the, as soon as you feel it grab.
It doesn't feel like it's level.
Yeah, we gotta, hang on, back up a step.
Oh,
Pull
do
the
I need to?
Yeah, we gotta pull the tape off that, and
Back up. Pull it line back in. Alright, perfect.
alright.
Now, well,
So-
should we seat that in first?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I should. Oh, the hose clamps down there, so we're good.
Awesome. Good catch.
That would have sucked.
Alright, we are in much better shape now.
There we go.
Yeah, that works.
Oh, boom.
Dropped right on.
Easy. Oh, this
I
one
made that sound way worse than...
doesn't feel like it's going hand tightening in very nicely. There we go.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Alright, pull the alignment out, and then the other 8 go in now. And then we got a very specific tightening pattern. Sheet over here so I can
Oh, of
reference
course.
the pattern. I don't remember it off the top of my head. Thank you. So...
See ya. It's been the
Alright.
theme for the day.
Hey, there we go.
Oh, that's a good paperweight.
Right? Alright, so number 1. Tightening in 2 steps, starting with 13.
You're doing the 2 steps similar to the cylinder
Yes,
bases?
sir.
So 2 steps.
Starting at 13 pound-feet, doing the pattern all the way around once, and then going back with 25 pound-feet. So that was the 12th one, and we're gonna crank the torque wrench back up to
Nice.
25.
That's nerve-wracking.
Right? Come on. The uncomfortable giggles of someone tightening the head down. Righty-tighty, not righty-loosey.
Yeah. Oh,
It's not as bad
No.
as some, but
it's still
it's
nerve-wracking.
still nerve-wracking. So I don't know if you caught that, but I rushed through the stroke and it clicked once, but then I went back slow and it took another maybe 8th turn.
Oh, is
after
it
that,
because
so-
the speed of you turning it caused it to click?
Correct.
Gotcha. That's why digital's probably better too, right?
Yeah, it tracks that a little bit tighter. You can kind of see when you're getting close and slow down. But nice, slow, linear motions. There we are. Install spark plugs, then install the knock sensor. Tighten the knock sensor to 18 pound-feet. Install coolant hose, water pump, secured, and then we're getting close. Getting close to starting it.
Yeah, we're sounding like we're back in the realm of things I can do.
Right?
Oh my gosh, dude. I appreciate your help so much with this.
Not a problem.
I don't do engine work, but now I do.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, this video is literally you doing all the engine work, but it was cool being a part of it.
You pulled it apart.
I pulled it apart. Yeah, I did half of it. Half
Exactly.
the work, dude. Sweet. Yeah,
Hell
simple
yeah.
things left to wrap this up. This is still going to be an ongoing process, getting this thing fully back to actually running and back together, but the motor top end rebuild is done, thanks to this guy.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you, dude. So we were saying how these things are looking mint, right? Well, Evan, in closer inspection, saw a crack. So good thing we swapped these out. That would have been catastrophic.
For sure.
Oh, this is why preventive maintenance, 2,500 race miles, they look good, other than the crack right there.
Yeah.
How's
The
that
other
one
one
looking?
looks totally fine.
This one definitely is in much nicer condition because there's no crack. But dude, that's wild.
That's crazy.
Oh, good eye.
Yeah,
Again, thank goodness.
for sure. This is right at the right time.
Right at the right time.
Thank you, dude.
This is awesome.
Hell yeah.
There you go.
Appreciate you, brother. You're the best.
Appreciate you, dude. Give me the
That's sick.
Hey.
Hell yeah. Oh
Well,
yeah.
hopefully I make it big one day. That thing's worth some money.
Right? That would be awesome.
I have a trunk. No. A bed full of gear that needs a home. It's been baking in the back of my truck for about a week now because I have been storing all that stuff kind of like in a closet at home. We want that closet space back. So I got this skimpy looking coat rack, Amazon special. I immediately regret getting it because one, it's probably not going to be able to hold all of my gear. And two, I've got pit coats that are heavy. Snowmobile gear is heavy. I don't think it's gonna hold up, but we'll see if we can make it work. If this thing's gonna stink, then I'll just kind of build one maybe. But the idea is to have all of my snowmobile stuff here in this space and not at my house. I'm also gonna take a trip down memory lane and go over my gear and share with you guys a little bit of stories behind, the gear that I wore and when, and whatever memories kind of come to mind, which will be really fun. Hopefully I bought enough coat hangers, and again, hopefully that thing holds up. I also got a fan too, because it is scalding hot in this storage container. I don't have any ventilation, just have the doors open. Cool looking fan I got at Home Depot. Oh, CrossFit. Oh, everything is so hot. Hopefully nothing actually melted because it's been in here for so long. Let's get all the pit coats hung up first, and then I'll go over my gear. I got like tons of insulated layers that go with these jackets and bibs. Oh man, dude, this thing's gonna tip over just holding coat hangers. Oh man, I don't even know about these. Let's see. And I'll just mainly hang out on this coat rack. Man, everything smells good. Doesn't smell like a dusty closet, which is where a lot of it has been hanging out. They all might fit. All right, I've got a little bit more faith now. Let's just get these pit coats on here. So this is basically one of the first kits, like Arctic Cat race kits. I had a jacket, my dad actually wears it now. The very first jacket I ever had, 2017 racing, he has. And he also has the helmet too, he wears occasionally. I'll toss a photo of that kit up on the screen here. I went semi-pro, that was my first year of racing sport. And then I wore this semi-pro. So when Arctic Cat, was making their own race gear, I think they did 2 years, this year and one more year of like race specific gear. They just do Arctic wear stuff now, nothing race specific. I actually asked, because it would be cool to bring back race Arctic gear. Who knows, maybe they will if I push hard enough. Pester them enough. Logoed, or not logoed, but has my name on it in, you know, the basic fonts, whatever. But this is what I wore. 2018, I have a cool photo of me racing at the Rangeley main track, like coming through a corner. I'll see if I can find it and put it up on screen. Absolutely love this kit. The pants are awesome. I still see some people rocking this jacket and bib. It's cool. I love it. The gray and the green and orange. And it has the 144 square inches of orange on the back. This thing's sweet. I'm glad I still kept, like, held on to a lot of these things. This is a jersey that I wore, race jersey, 2017 near the end of the season where it started getting warm. There was a racer, Jake Webb, who he's actually the one who kind of influenced me and my dad to get into racing. He had one of these and I ended up getting one. We were like, again, I think I have a clip of us at Jackman coming out of a corner on the same sled, wearing the same orange jerseys, or similar. His might have been a little bit more different, just hauling around a corner. The windproof jerseys, I run anything, if it's 26 degrees or warmer, I will run a jersey. We're moving so much, even on lake races where pointing it in straight lines, and even like on Ice Le Mans where it's flat, completely flat, I'm still sweating and moving a ton, and I'll definitely get cold in these, but they block the wind very well. I'll show you the back. So someone that when my content started doing really well, there's someone by the name of Adam, who is a huge fan of everything I do with my social media, with racing, and especially with Arctic Cat too. Adam's like one of my OG followers on Facebook, who loves my content, and I really appreciate him for all the support he's given me. I love his messages. He's been getting back into riding. He makes his way from down south up into the UP and rides, and he actually sent me some videos of his Arctic Cat putting like the stock pipe back on, because the previous owner straight piped it for some reason, but another story for another time. He wanted a signature on a jersey I wanted to give him. So I ended up like practicing on this jersey a bunch because I didn't have a signature at that time. So that was fun practicing that. Nice little bit of history and memory for this one. And I love the font of this. This was like the font and number that I really liked. I tried replicating this. There's a font that I found called Kanit, K-A-N-I-T, that I use for a lot of my stuff on social media or graphics and things like that. And this is kind of the closest to that font that I like, and it's very close to kind of like Arctic Cat's font. It's not close, but it's close enough compared to others. Okay, moving into, came apart. My kind of like pro get up, broken. First year I went pro, I believe I wore this kit. I was in between like a fly kit, bib and jacket, and going more Arctic Cat. I just remember I was getting a little bit more support from Arctic Cat, and so I wanted to rock them more one year than Fly Racing, because Fly was providing me with like discount support, which they do for a lot of their racers, and then Arctic Cat kind of stepped up and gave us a little bit more help with the sled and parts support, because they knew I was going into pro in the Rock Maple Racing series. So I wore this jacket on like really cold days, and then I'd wear the jersey, which actually that jersey I gave away. Good old trusty Team Arctic neon green. Still some guys rocking this. A good font on the back. I love the way the 4 is designed, right? I don't like the fork 4. I like the angled 4 better. I always try and aim for fonts that have the angled 4 instead of the fork 4. I think the font on that other kit, the first time I went semi-pro, I think that one had a fork 4 on it. You don't know until you see it. You put it on, you're like, yeah, this looks sweet. And then you see how, like, you know, a better looking 4, where is it? A better looking 4, and you're like, in my opinion, it's better looking 4. All these kits too, they did their job racing here in Maine. Like, I was really never cold. I would always just wear different base layers if I was gonna get cold or was getting cold. But for the most part, everything worked really well. Ooh, this is tall enough that the legs don't drag on the ground. Maybe I'll have to hike these bibs up. These ones will drag. All right, these will eventually be vintage, right? This one's been in a closet, so it smells a bit musty. I just love the green and orange of this. This jacket just looks so good. I gotta send pictures of this to the marketing team and just be like, replicate this or something similar, and then make jerseys. Oh, dude, if Arctic Cat made their own gear, I would wear it. And I know a lot of other people would wear it because a lot of people did. A lot of people still to this day go on and find people that race Arctic Cat and cross country. You will find some of them that still wear this jacket, and I'm proud of them. Yeah, I kind of want that one front and center, to be honest. Dude, coat hanger's holding up. Okay, I grabbed two different ones here because I got to remember which ones are which. Okay, there's that jersey. This one was the kit that competed with this one my pro year. And speak of the devil, there's that Fork 4 that you just don't know until you see it. You see it side by side. My mom helped me with the graphics, I believe, on both of these. I might have done this one myself. My mom did the graphics on that one, and she crushed that one. Yeah, I did this one. Looks good though. It held up nicely. And I did the white, thin white, because I didn't want to give up any orange. Because we were pretty strict with ISR rules in Rock Maple, and I didn't want to get in trouble if someone measured, you know. But there's so much orange on this. This was the last year of the crappy fly gear. And why I say crappy is they just couldn't figure out their pockets. It was very frustrating. The zippers just would not work. They would, speak of the devil. There we go. That one works. And after this year, I think this is the 2020 model, they figured out their pockets. They just would not zip. It was so frustrating. Or they would come unzipped. Oh, speaking of coming unzipped, I wore this jacket in Pant Vermont race in 2019. And it was so cold out that my ring on my hand, like I could feel it get cold, and it was killing my hand holding onto the handlebars. And I didn't realize that until I was on the starting line. So I quickly pulled my glove off, pulled the ring off, put it in my jacket pocket. Lo and behold, for some reason, I guess just the way I ride, both pockets unzipped themselves. So my wedding ring is at the bottom of the Panton Pond or Panton Lake in Vermont after that race. Maybe someone found it. That would be cool. They found a nice ring. I love that ring. This is like a cheaper one. It's not the same. I'm so stoked that this is working. I love the magnets on these. The magnet snaps. Like, that's not zippered. That's just using magnets. I love that. Does it add weight to the gear? Yeah, but you know, they're magnets. Post Rock Maple racing, this jacket here, oh wait, no, not this one. Post Rock Maple racing, I had started focusing on my social media, so you can see the Action Sports Club logo is on this. 2021? No, 22, going into 2023. So this is the jacket I wore. There wasn't really any, you know, the NEXC had the Aquasic location. It was soaking wet that weekend, glare ice, water. Maybe Zach Kerfendel came to that race. I can't really remember. This was, yeah, one of the jerseys, the first time I used direct to film or DTF. So you can see how these are just one color here. They're just basic white. And then here's the actual logo. I ended up making a video back in the bowels of my video. I'll try to add it to the Building a Brand series playlist, if I can go back and find it. You take your logo, put it online, website called Ninja Prints. They will send you like a sheet with your logos on it. You cut them out. You can use an iron. In the video that I made, you use an iron at a certain temp, or we have like a Cricut press that you can get to the right temp and right time to press them on. And they last pretty long. You can kind of tell that stuff's like peeling a tiny bit, and it's going to in time. But for the most part, they look very seamless. And just having the actual color logo rather than, you know, having it have to be just white is a really cool way to make your gear look very unique. I saw the Snowcross guys were doing it, and I had no clue how they were doing it. I'm sure they had some, you know, printing company doing their uniforms, or they were like in-house or something. I wanted to have that on my stuff because it just looks very professional. And I was starting to gain traction on social media, so I wanted my gear to look good. Right here, we have a one of one, or I guess one of one and one of one. Kind of one of the most memorable, but I'll be frank as well, the most embarrassing moments of my snowmobile career. I got an invite from RNS Racing, right here, to race in the Sioux I-500. One of the best opportunities ever in my entire life. They had me come out early to Neil Speckin, great guy. I absolutely love that guy. He's super passionate about the sport, one of very few Arctic Cats to still remain in the Sioux I-500. It's basically all Polaris's now. And he needed another driver, and he saw on social media that I was good in the bumps. So I was brought on to race like the last leg of the race, the last 100 miles. We kind of guessed maybe 100 miles if the sled made it that far. And the goal was for me to get some seat time, just out there, get acclimated, and get used to ice. Racing ice ovals, completely different animal. I was signed up to race in the semi-pro class at Kinross, which is Myra, M-I-R-A race series, and they brought me on, and they had a different sled, mod sled, first time ever on a twin pipe mod sled, so fast, completely different animal. It handled completely different than anything I was used to. Going into the 25 lap race in semi-pro, literally like the first lap, just get way too excited, grab a handful of throttle and tap someone on my right side. I'll put a clip up of the crash, which I'm not too thrilled to share. I made a whole separate video on it where I crashed in Kinross is the title of it. And someone was on my right that I didn't see, and their spindle clipped the tunnel guard and locked the track up, and I high-sided, and I wasn't leaning enough. Neil spec in the whole, every time I go out for practice, he's like, TJ, you gotta lean more, TJ, you gotta lean more. And I'm like, I feel like I'm hanging off this thing. And then my dad's taking video and I see myself on the sled and I'm like, I'm not leaning off that sled at all. I didn't lean enough. Plus I got hit and it locked the track up, high-sided, went into the snowbank, rolled the sled, ended up breaking the handlebars. I think that was really the major damage. They didn't tell me any other damage I might have caused to the sled. Good, because I would have cried or something. Ended up blowing my knee out, which stunk, and I was out of the Sioux I-500. Again, just all I had to do was make it through the Kinross race, and I would have, you know, been able to get through rookie week at the Sioux I-500, which is like the Wednesday and Thursday. You kind of have to qualify to actually race if you've never raced before. And I didn't even make it to that. I was laid up in our Airbnb with my dad for 2 days just to see if it got better, and it only got worse. It was my right knee. We ended up flying out early, and I have a good friend from the gym whose husband is orthopedic surgeon. He was able to see me right out of the gate, determined that it was probably just a really bad sprain. There was no tears like ACL or MCL, which is really good. But it's just such an unfortunate incident. It haunts me to this day. I really wish I had the opportunity to race in the I-500. And it's frankly embarrassing. Like, all I had to do was just not crash, and I crashed and missed one of the most amazing opportunities ever in my entire life. So, you know, that'll haunt me till the day I die. But it opened my eyes into, you know, how much harder I need to work to make sure nothing like that ever happens again. And it really helped me mature. I just went in so excited, so confident. I felt good on ice. The sled felt really good. I qualified out of 16 racers. I qualified 8th. Never before ever on a sled racing in that format. I qualified 8th in semi-pro, which is wild. And I think all that got to my head, but I digress. That's too much on that. Let's move on. Okay, we just have some knickknacks, goggle bags, actual bags, some tool bags, some protective gear. I'm gonna throw this in the storage unit so the back of my truck is empty. And then I think we might be concluding. If you want to see more videos like this, check it out in the playlist here. And if you want to see my more recent video, check it out right here. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.